This is Action You, the program about you doing what you need to do. What a man has the capacity to be, he has the obligation to become. The whole point of Action You is you become the superhero you need to become. This is Action You. What a man has the capacity to be, he has the obligation to become. What this show is about is for you to take control of your life, to be and do whatever it is that you really want to do. I am reminded of one of my favorite movies, and I'm sure some of you that are of age that know the movie Mahogany, where the great singer Diana Ross had a song. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Some of you may be working a 9 to 5. Some of you may be after hours. Some of you may be in between jobs. And in between jobs, you're trying to find yourself. You're at a career end, and you're wondering which way do you go from there. I was reading a book by Tavis Smiley, and he once said, fail up. In other words, don't fall down, fall up, go up. He said, walk out on the edge and you're sure to fall on something. Many of us live our life as though we have absolutely no control over what we can do and how we do it. To some extent, all of us have some power over the lives that we had. I say to some extent. You know what? John H. Johnson, publisher of Ebony Jet magazine, started out with a $500 loan. In the middle of depressed America, a depression, he founded Jet magazine. Eventually came to be worth $200 million. Wrote a book in the 80s called Succeeding Against the Odds. The odds are what all of us have to succeed against. Do you not realize the great odds that made you possible? 200 million to 1. That's how many little sperms it took to fertilize the egg. Your odds of being here were 200 million to 1. Those are the exact same odds to you winning the lottery. That's right. You have a better chance of winning the lottery than you had of being born. The fact that you have been born, you have won the greatest lottery of all, and that is the lottery of life. What you invest in it, what you put in it, is up to you. So you must dream the impossible, touch the intangible, dare the deniable. It's on you to do you. That is what Action You is about. It's about those who have the entrepreneurial spirit, the frontiersman-like attitude that can take the rocky terrain of life and create a grand cabin of your existence to live in. It is not easy. It is not the easiest thing to do, but it's on you. Did you not know that Colonel Sanders was 65 years old before he started Kentucky Fried Chicken? Don't you know that in the early 70s they told James Brown that he was washed up? James Brown came back with a song called The Big Payback. That is what you want in your life. Whether you're 50 or 60 or 75 and others feel that your life is over, if you feel you have not accomplished what you wanted in life, give them the big payback. I'm reminded of an old school rapper by the name of Kool Moe Dee. They told him that he was never going to be a big record-selling album. But Kool Moe Dee came out with a rap called How You Like Me Now. And in that rap, he schooled one of his proteges, LL Cool J. 1990, off the success of MC Hammer and also Vanilla Ice, LL Cool J's grandmother told him at the Grammy Awards, she said, "Baby, they're ahead of you." LL Cool J went into the studio, came out with one of the biggest bangers of his career. Mama said, "Knock you out." That is what you do. You step back and you handle the competition in life, whatever it is. He came back and said, "Mama said, knock you out." That is what you are living to do, to knock out life, the disappointment, the discouragements, the setbacks, everything that you face. And then you borrow, if I may, from Dr. King's most famous speech, "I have a dream. With this faith, I will go to the mountain of despair and carve a stone of hope. With this faith, I will take the jangling discords of this harmony and create a beautiful symphony of peace. With this faith, we will be able to do whatever we inquire in our minds to do." That is what this show is about. To do the impossible after you've been told it is impossible to do. As I've seen around the city of Atlanta, and those who ride what is called MARTA, there's a sign up and they took the word impossible and say, "I am possible." And that is what is your life about. The dream you want, what you desire, is possible if you make it a reality. This is Action U. Are you feeling locked down, knocked out, left out, all alone in life? Are you ready to stop being a mosquito blown by the wind to and fro of life? Are you ready to take control over the things in your life that you have control over? That is your time for action. That is your time to find you. I want to share one other story with you before I introduce my very special guest on today. When the great singer Barry White had an album concept, he went to his record label to produce that album. They could not grasp the style that he was doing that album in. Barry White was turned down by 5 record labels. 4 record labels actually, and the 5th one, his manager at the time said, "Barry, if this next station turned down this album, we're gonna have to rethink about the concept." Elton John, the great rock singer, heard that album and he told Clive Davis, and if you don't know Clive Davis, you don't know music, said, "Look, buy that album, it's hot." When Clive Davis agreed to buy Barry White's album, the record company that didn't want to produce it decided if Clive Davis wanted the album, it must have value. So that album got produced, even though it was a different concept than what records were being produced at that time in 73, 74. Barry White album became one of the hottest albums of 1974. What is my point? My point is, sometimes when you take action to think of concepts outside of the norm, it may seem at first that you're so far to the left that no one will get it. But when it comes to love music, who is better known in that realm, say, than Barry White? My next guest.
My mission, my idea was, as I was young, before the age of 12, I was like, I used to say, "God, I want to go to Atlanta one day." I heard big things about Atlanta, you know, and as far as production-wise, and you know, a lot of the stars, hip-hop stars, as far as like Jermaine Dupri, always them, and a few other people from Atlanta, you know, and it's when I started making the music around age of 12. And I came to Atlanta shortly after that.
Now, you know, it's interesting. You mentioned at the time, and I'm well aware of, you know, the strides Jermaine Dupri was making in Atlanta at that time. Atlanta was only just becoming the media hotbed, rap hotbed that it is. So at 12, you already were deciding that Atlanta was the place you wanted to launch your dreams from.
Okay, let me small minor correction. I wanted to come to Atlanta, but then once I came to Atlanta, I had a brand new keyboard that my grandfather gave me. When I came here, it was still in the box. My mom told me I think it was an Optimus MD 1500 or something. It had a sequence on it. My mom says, you have to read the whole manual before I let you take this keyboard out the box. You're gonna know how to use this keyboard.
Okay.
You're not gonna tear this keyboard up. So you get this manual and you start reading it. So I was excited. That was the most exciting book I ever wanted to read. The manual to my new keyboard that my grandfather gave me. Okay, what also inspired me is my grandfather. He was a musician. He's also a retired school teacher at Graphic Industrial Arts and assistant principal. He played music every night on his piano at home. And as growing up, I would be at my grandparents' house often, and I would just watch him at night before he goes to bed. Before we went to bed, I watch him read that sheet music from the book and play the piano. So I always wanted to create music like him. That's what gave me that spark. Yeah.
Now, what were the drive that was instilled in you to do what you really wanted to do? What drive? What drove you? What's your passion that make you say, hey, look, Robert Parker III has to accomplish this? What's your drive?
I believe I can. I believe I can do it if I want to do it. You know, I believe whatever I set my mind out to do, I can get it done. I can study. And these days now it's a world of information at the fingertips, at my fingertips. They call it the World Wide Web. You know, and
that's a good point. When I was first in business 30 years ago, back I started in 86, you know, but I started in media in 83. We did not have the assets and power that the world today has provided. You know, if you wanted to get your business out there, you had to try to get that newspaper article. You had to try to get that interview with the local news station. But now, in this information age, and young people like yourself, I watch really take the innovation to do what this information age has provided to get it out there. What would you say, Mr. Parker, to someone in 2016 that wanted to be the producer that you have shaped for yourself? They say, hey, I want to be a producer. What would you tell them it would take?
all right, here we go. A lot of people not gonna like this. And they're gonna think it's another way.
Right.
You're gonna have to start off basically interning. You know, it's not gonna be payday on your first day.
Okay.
It's not gonna be payday on your first week.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be payday. It might not be payday on your first month. It might not be payday on your first year. Before all that, you know, it has to be a hobby.
Oh.
It would be best if you started out as a hobby. Okay? Say for instance, you have an attitude of, I would still do this even if I would never get paid.
Okay.
I would still do this. That's the drive. That's the drive it takes to strive. You know, at the end of the day, you are satisfied with your practice and your talent or your sound or your creation. We always know when we compare, let's say, music or productions to the top-notch industry standard, major quality, that we have work to go, a lot of work to go. That can be achieved by only studying and learning from the best, learning from the source. The source would be people that are in the industry.
Right.
You know, let's say for instance, before I first started doing video production, it was just all music. You know, audio production. Then I learned about production sound, post-production for films, commercials, audio post-production, ADR, automated dialogue replacement, you know, voiceovers, and, you know, sound design. And then I took a video production class.
All right.
And that opened up another door for me, a whole nother world of productions. You know, the audio is one side, the video is another side or another angle. So it wasn't hard for me to grasp the concept at all with the video production, being that, okay, I enrolled at Art Institute of Atlanta for audio production because I wanted to take it to that next level, learning from the professional, or, you know, become a professional at what I do. Besides just being at my home on my keyboard or whatever studio or place that I go to make music. You know, I wanted to come on a major level, learn how to work the big boards, the big audio boards. It's tough. These boards, you know, you can't even get a sound to come out of them. These long audio boards, you can't even get one sound to come out of them if you don't know what you're doing.
Wow. So you have, not only did you have the talent, you took time to educate yourself or become educated in what exactly you wanted to do. In other words, my point here is that you did seek formal education along with the talent that you normally had when you go into the Art Institute, right? Do you suggest that for aspiring producers like yourself?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily suggest Art Institute. I would suggest any kind of schooling.
That's what I'm talking about. Formal.
Any form of schooling, education, degree. This leads me to my next point. I found People TV.
Right.
Comcast Channel 24 Atlanta.
Right.
And it was amazing to me. It was amazing. You know, they put me right on the cameras. They said, come on in. I'm like, you kidding, right? They like, no, come on in. Get on that camera right there. I was like, what? This is a live show? And I'm really only operating the cameras for a live show? On my first day? Oh man, that's big. You know, so I got a major sense of self-worth
Good.
from that encounter. And I never stopped. It's been 2 years ago. You know, I never stopped. I never stopped learning.
I hope, and you know, most time men don't mind. How old are you, Mr. Parker?
I'm 29 and a half. Nah, I'm 29.
And how long have you tried to get to the point where you are now? Because a lot of time people want success. I made my mind today. I want success tomorrow. So what do you say to people who have to understand that there's a process to success? You know, you're 29 now. How long have you worked to get to this place?
Okay. I say from the day when I opened that keyboard, I probably was, about 13. So I'm 29 now. So that's 16 years. 16 years. From the day I read that manual to that keyboard. I've been working, and I've been working. All that work has gotten me here, where I'm at right now, on TV.
What do you do now that make you satisfied with the choices you made to be involved, the choices you made to have the life you want now as a producer? What is your satisfaction with your life at this point? What most satisfies you or make you happy with the choice you made?
Okay, that's a good question. I have to bring it back to the roots of my happiness right now, which is success in audio and video productions, TV broadcasts.
Because you're building quite a portfolio for yourself. You know, you are involved with more than one show with People's TV at this time.
Okay. I found out that People TV has classes that you can get certified.
Right.
So I got certified in on-location camera shooting. I took that course, and then I took the Introduction to Broadcast Television. I finished that course, passed it.
So you can transfer these skills to the higher level that you were mentioning earlier. Like, say if you want to, it's just me, if you want to relocate to New York, if you want to relocate to California, these are where some of the, even though they have satellites now in Atlanta, some of them, but the big headquarters, New York and in California, you're able to take these skills with you to larger companies. Also, you're able to show a portfolio of actual work. You know, that has to be a great deal of satisfaction there, should you choose for whatever reason to relocate. So it's like, are you pleased with, and this may be, the question can answer itself, but the fact that you're involved in where you really want your life to be, when you're producing these shows and music for people, there has to be a degree of like, I'm getting there, you know? Do you ever feel that feeling? I know you haven't attained all that you wanted to, but a degree of satisfaction because you took action to say, I'm happy, you know? That's something that a lot of people are not. They have dreams and desires that they never step out to do. But are you happy with where you are?
Man, I'm very happy, man. I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied with my life right now. You know, hey, it's not it's not many people that you know, sitting on TV talking that you see on TV. It's not many people. You know, I'm happy to be on TV. I'm happy with my drive to where I would never have guessed that I would be able to film, edit, and post-production, audio production, and also, you know, put a few of my jingles, you know, that people would think that, oh, that music you making, why you even going to school for that? You never gonna make no money in that. Why you going to school for music? Why you not gonna make no money for that? You need to go for a real job. I said, okay, all right, I'll show you, you know. And I just believe that one day I might be able to make it big. I feel pretty big right now. You know, I feel pretty big. My pockets ain't big, but I feel big.
What would you say, Mr. Parker? This show about people taking whatever control they can of their destiny. What is your philosophy that you would like to share with people who want to or need to take control of their destiny? What is your philosophy? What would you say to encourage someone to get off that couch, to get out of your fear, jump in the lake and start swimming to become who they want to be? What would you say? And Robert Parker III onwards.
All right, I'm gonna tell you like this. Gotta make it happen. It's not gonna come to you. And you can keep wishing and you can keep hoping. There's nothing wrong with that. But you gotta get off of your couch sometimes and go put some action towards what you wanna do. You gotta put some action towards. What did you do in support of what you wanna do? You know, it's asking you, hey, let's ask me.
Until next time. This is Action You, the program about you doing what you need to do. What a man has the capacity to be, he has the obligation to become.